We are live. Bitcoin 35K. Want to know more? Stay right here. This is the market update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live and when we are preparing and posting new price prediction videos. First two videos recorded today. If the content works for you, hit the like button. Feel free to comment and guess which two tokens were the first up for price prediction analysis. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Ethereum, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin miners along with the news. The crypto market is going way higher than anybody thinks. I've been saying this for a while, and I'm just pounding the table. I saw a tweet from a respected individual who said, what would it take for you to buy back into the crypto market? The answer one of the people gave was, I'm waiting for the macro landscape to shift. I was like, oh my God, this is going to the moon. If everybody waits for the news to go from bad to good, the market is massively higher by the time those people get back in. So I want you to be some of the people who at least get something out of the January rally, and maybe you can get trade location for what I hope is a major summer rally. Wow, a lot of people on the stream today. Jan, first on the stream, welcome. Richard Barry, Georgia, welcome. JP Stanley, crypto to cash, right? AZ is RAR, welcome. GF, the crypto lion is here. Happy Friday, Christopher. Let's go Bitcoin. Yes. Everybody forgot about Bitcoin. They'll be remembering it, 22K or higher. Poland in the house. Good morning from the sports hobbyist. Zoran is here from Croatia. Our friends from Europe are here, right? Llama Sun giving me some love for the 1900 call in gold. Baby Whale is here. People coming back. Jonathan McKay. Language trainer. Jonathan McKay. Sports hobbyist. When pullback? March. Late February. Okay. Christopher Cotta guessing ADA and ETH on price prediction. No, it's a good guess. We're going to do those, but it's actually gold and water, GLDN and BARC. We'll take a look at those briefly. I did a private webinar for the Gold Retriever community. I'm the director of research at Gold Retriever, and I own GLDN and BARC. We will go over the TA briefly. I don't want to spoil the price prediction video. Carlos is here. Welcome. Andre says, the more I short, the more I get wrecked. I would recommend, if you want to play this from the short side, maybe try late February or mid-February or March. Got to give big boy Bitcoin room to run. And I don't think ETH is done yet either. Okay, language trainer, GLDN and BARC exploding. And in his opinion, it hasn't even started yet. Lucas, hello from Spain. I'm always in the house. Wolf of Crypto is here. Crypto at 2 a.m. Time for coffee and notorious knowledge. Appreciate that. Baby Whale says, Bill, you need a YouTube channel. Sir, this is my YouTube channel. This is Crypto Noble, the YouTube channel. I've actually developed this intriguing screen share that while I'm on YouTube, I actually show my YouTube. Okay. This is my YouTube page, right? Crypto Noble or at Crypto Noble on YouTube. So obviously you're here, you're watching the show, but this is my own show. No more working for the man. This is my YouTube channel. All right, let's jump into some news. El Salvador's crypto law allows Bitcoin-backed bonds. Folks, let me just tell you this right now. This is the story of the year in crypto, and nobody knows it yet. And here's why. Bitcoin is money. It's a currency. What do you need to validate a currency? An interest rate for that currency, for a deposit. Now, we tried Celsius. We tried even DeFi. And how did that work out? That was a disaster, right? We have Gemini, Genesis being charged by SEC with selling unregistered securities for trying to give you an interest rate on your crypto. Now, is this fair? No, this is Gensler trying to make it look like he's doing something. That's fine. That's their business. Anybody who focuses on this FUD is missing the point. When El Salvador issues Bitcoin-denominated bonds, the market will trade the bonds back and forth. And if you get a finance textbook out, right, if bond prices go up, interest rates on Bitcoin will go down. And if the bonds go down, interest rates on the Bitcoin bonds will rise. This is a legitimate way to come up with interest rates for Bitcoin. In other words, this is the beginning of Bitcoin developing in finance terms a yield curve. Like this is the interest from a 1-month rate, a 2-month rate, a 2-year rate. Did you ever wonder where the 30-year mortgage rate comes from? Well, you need to find the 30-year treasury bond interest rate, and then it works off that. So the real interest on Bitcoin that validates it, that makes it a currency, will come from the bond market that El Salvador just started. I've always wondered with Michael Celer, I would love to ask him in person, hey, Mike, when are you going to start issuing MicroStrategy debt or commercial paper or short-term debt instruments in Bitcoin? Why don't you establish a Bitcoin yield curve? The fact that somebody is establishing interest rates for Bitcoin outside of some insane Celsius FTX scheme, this is the real deal. And this makes Bitcoin more real than it's ever been. And Michael Saylor is making a contribution. He's doing software development using Bitcoin. And I heard last night, I live in Austin, Texas, down the road at Texas A&M, they are offering their first Bitcoin class as a joint venture between the business school and engineering using Jimmy Song's Bitcoin codebook. So finance meets science meets yield curve, and people are developing Web3 or want to develop Web3 and finance on Bitcoin. So I remember somebody getting a little snotty. I actually like this group in Austin, but they were on a podcast saying there's no such thing as DeFi. DeFi doesn't exist until we build it on Bitcoin. Well, guess what? El Salvador is building DeFi on Bitcoin. Baby Whale says no one wants Bitcoin. I get it. It's not the sexy crypto investment. However, you can get 10 to 15 to 20% God candles in Bitcoin, right? In other words, you're right. No one wants it. It's boring. But the thing is, if you look at the DeMark chart on a daily, there was a 9 top, a pause, and now we're on a number 5, and we could have like 8 more up days before Bitcoin runs out of gas, right? If you look at the 4-hour chart, the pause on the 9 top was barely a pause. And you could have another 40 hours of upside in Bitcoin. So I get it. It's not sexy, but that doesn't mean it can't just smoke higher because people don't own it. People are not interested. I mean, do you realize what happens if Bitcoin takes out 20K? I remember when Michael Saylor just plowed Bitcoin through 20K the first time. People were like, oh my God, this guy's a madman. He's just aping in. He's my hero. Now it's about to go through 20K. and people's interest is marginal. Now, I'm not trying to sell you Bitcoin, but what I'm telling you is if Bitcoin goes just bonkers, like, let me see if I have the level here. Yeah, I was thinking maybe to this moving average, an extreme move would be a rope to 24K. Okay, ETH, there's a 13 top in ETH, but it's not backing off. One of the best things about DeMark is you can make money whether the indicators are working and whether they're not working. Right now, there's a 13 top in ETH and no one cares. No one cares. Welcoming more people on the stream. High Scene is here. Pelosi's portfolio. Phoenix, right? Andre is here. What about SPX for the next 2 weeks? Okay, let's talk about SPX. So this is S&P 500. This is stocks. And here's my view on stocks. There's probably going to be one more disturbance, right? I don't know. The Fed may have something to say. I don't know. You may have one more disturbance. Maybe. I think people are way too bearish stocks. They're just way too bearish. And when people get this bearish, you can get shocking upside, particularly in stocks. I've seen it. I saw a Chinese New Year forecast that said, look back at your goals from 2011. In 2011, I was dreaming about, kind of like being my own boss, doing my own thing. And one of the things I remember about 2011 was that was the last time that everyone freaked out about government finances in Europe, right? Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain. And everybody was focused on that, and nobody was focused on FANG. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, and maybe Microsoft. So everyone was talking about pigs, Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain. Nobody was talking about FANG. Now everyone's talking about FTX, and they should be talking about Bitcoin and SPX. Okay. S&P 500 breaking out, retesting a fib speed resistance line. I don't know, 4,100. It may be in a range, but the post-March rally in this could be shocking. Could be shocking, right? In other words, if the Fed is only doing 25 basis point hikes and cost cutting is effective and a recession is, I don't know, maybe an August or November phenomenon, this can do a lot better, and so can crypto. Okay. Bubba Smith, never late, never early, right on time. Daniel J says stocks are tired. Okay. That may be true. Okay. Maybe true. All right. Stocks can go up in surprising fashion when the Fed picture becomes clearer. So if Jerome Powell clarifies that they're done with the 75 basis points at a time, stocks can do better. Okay, so let's screen share. All right, so let's go to some PowerPoint slides and let's talk about crypto mining stocks. Before we do that, just a reminder, the 10th, the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th of the month in my memory serve as interesting turning points. November 10th was the top in ETH back last year, 2021 rather. January 10th feels like the bottom in ETH. This reminds me of 2007 when it was October 11th. 2007 was the top, the mother of all tops, it felt like. It wasn't even a top because it was going sideways. And frankly, we knew, as in the people I worked for at the time, we knew this was coming. And then the bottom was on March 9th, 2009 in the depths of despair. The depths of despair. Back to the water narrative. Saudi farms are sucking Arizona's groundwater dry, and the attorney general is involved. The company I work for, Gold Retriever, has a product called BARC, B-A-R-C. It's going to be a water price discovery and delivery token. It's going to help bring commodities to the blockchain. I own BARC. I own GLDN, and we'll look at the chart later. Meanwhile, back at the Satoshi Ranch, Satoshi's vision comes through as losses from Goldman's credit card division, which is allegedly connected, well, not allegedly, which is connected to, you know, wealthy people buying Apple products. So everyone's buying Apple products with Goldman's credit card, and they're losing anywhere from $1 to $3 billion on this program. So inflation takes its toll. The consumer is getting its ass kicked. And come, say, September, you want to get out of the way of whatever legacy problem there is, because we will see the legacy problem at that point. In the meantime, focus on Satoshi's vision, not SBF, Satoshi. Crypto as the alternative asset to this hootenanny. Okay. BTC 4-hour chart, as I was showing earlier, a new uptrend is developing. Crypto Crazy is here, telling you don't forget to hit the like button. Okay. Lord Junta is also here, telling us how, you know, you can use machines and humans to do good analysis. We have Chat GPT helping us with our YouTube backend. Wrong again says Republican Financial Services Committee targeting Gensler. Yeah, absolutely. These guys were on the take from FTX, and they make perfect targets because they can call all the hearings they want. No legislation needs to be passed for these guys to get exposed. So guess what? These guys are going to, you know, they're going to bear the wrath of the frustrated right wing of American politics. These regulators were taking money from FTX. So just remember that the anti-crypto people are the ones in the most trouble, which is the reverse of what everyone thinks, because everyone is addicted to the FUD headlines. That, I don't know, they're coming after Binance and they're coming after this person and that person. Who cares? The anti-crypto regulators are the ones who are going to get hosed. Speaking of hosed, people thinks it's all over, that Bitcoin miners were collapsing last year from tax loss selling, shades of 2018, and when Bitcoin miners led to a complete collapse in the market. Turns out the collapse was really in the mining stocks themselves. Marathon Digital, which does have a lot of debt, looks like it's breaking out to me. And if you draw fib speed resistance lines off the very top, one possible target is 19. Now you're like, Bill, the stock's at 785. Yeah, okay. But back in August, before this whole FTX thing, Marathon Digital was at 19. So if this was just some sort of gigantic fraud like Enron, a once in every 20-year problem, right, where the books are cooked and it's all just fake, because that's what Enron and FTX were, why is everybody assuming that a once in 20-year phenomenon is actually reality? It's not. So let's unwind the whole trade. Tally ho. From 785 to a fib speed resistance line and a high at 19. Hut 8 mining bottomed below $1, is currently at $1.51. If you unwound, sell in May and go away, you would go to a fib speed resistance line at $4.6. Here's a question. If the Bitcoin mining stocks go from 1.5 to 4.5, as an example, where's Bitcoin? Is it at 25K? It might be higher than that. The idea of a God candle in Bitcoin and crypto is still an underreported, underdiscussed phenomenon. As one of my old friends in crypto said, what's it going to take for you to buy back in? Like, when would you be comfortable doing that? Probably never, because the best trades are the toughest trades. So if you're not comfortable doing it, that's something to consider. Not investment advice. MicroStrategy. Can it go back to where it was on May 4th before this whole debacle started? If Celer was not forced to liquidate or is safe for the moment, why can't this stock go up? And if this stock goes up, can it lead Bitcoin because everyone is just all sold out? Right? I mean, seriously. The God candle in Bitcoin may not be here yet. Okay. Somebody's asking about targets. Okay. ETHE, Ethereum in the equity market. How about 12? It's currently at 7.5. Fib speed resistance line is at 12. So I don't know. How about ETH 2500? Okay. I mean, people think it can't go up, therefore it can go up. Okay, Lucas is asking about SNX. I got that written down here. So that's it for PowerPoint. Now let's get over to like live TA. I'm very interested in SNX. I want to see what an altcoin is doing. Let's check it out. What will survive from the world of DeFi? Actually love it if Synthetix was one of those tokens, because one of my personal favorite themes from the last cycle was Wall Street on the blockchain. So SNX has got resistance at $1.85 in the form of like a GANN DeMark hybrid moving average system. So, whoa, yellow card. SNX has got resistance in the form of a DeMark hybrid, DeMark GANN hybrid moving average system. If you take out the what they call the sequential work, you're going to see, you know, that low that occurred in December was it for Synthetix. Now, it's got to take out $1.85 because it's been up only. If you suffered with Synthetix, leave it. Not investment advice, right? In other words, if your accountant is not telling you to sell Synthetix, I mean, there is resistance up here, right? And I think Bitcoin may be the place to be in the short term, and we'll see what altcoins can do in February. But unless you're doing tax loss selling or unless you need the cash, let's see if something has changed. I mean, obviously, this moving average stones Synthetix up here at 260. So there is resistance, right? I'm not going to lie. But when things break resistance, you know, you get things like this is the BARC chart. This is the water price discovery mechanism. Okay, that every time it breaks one of these resistance lines, okay, it'll sit on the resistance line and go higher. So there are themes out there that are working. Synthetix was great for the last cycle. And, you know, I'm basically putting my job and my chips behind this, right? GLDN, something similar, right? Huge run up, wave one. Huge decline, massive FUD, wave two. Rounding bottom, the next key point is the 62% retracement at $1.95. You know, it's going the right way. And a lot of times the biggest and the best themes, like Synthetix is a great example. The best time to buy Synthetix was November of 2020 after everybody had given up on it. Matter of fact, I like that idea so much because I remember my old employer, you know, Synthetix was one of the original ideas. I remember being on TV with BitBoy, seeing that Synthetix was one of the top picks at the time. And if you look at Synthetix, right, just look at how Synthetix came to be a gigantic token. Here is July of 2020. Here is a huge run up. Here is a huge crash. And then, you know, after crashing, once it took out the 62% retracement, which BARC has already done, by the way, GLDN is working on it. Once it firmly took out 62% at $4.40, it was gone. It was gone. Now, this is a daily chart, so this is, let me just label this so people know what they're looking at when they watch the video later. Because you are going to watch the video later and hit the like button. You're going to watch on your computer and your phone and show your friends. SNX, okay, this is 2020 to January of 2021. And worth noting that when something rallies and then everyone gives up, the ensuing move, even though it's driven by Fed liquidity, can be epic, right? The high in SNX was $28. It bottomed at $4. Now, it didn't stay up here because there was an issue with the tokenomics. Okay, when it comes to BARC or GLDN, if GLDN is the currency of water, and we don't know what water's worth or what people are willing to pay to get water to them when they don't have it, in order to buy BARC, you need GLDN. GLDN is the currency that allows you to buy water, and we don't know what this is worth yet, but the Synthetix example is awesome. Love it. Okay. Okay. Language Trainer is saying you can get GLDN with ETH. Again, I own both tokens. Okay. The idea, okay, the idea is real world problems solved on the blockchain. Iron Alien is here. Crypto Path, some notorious love from Quebec City. We appreciate that very much. Okay. Language Trainers, the price of water in liters. Yes, they're working on the fundamentals. They're working on the fundamentals. I believe it's going to be on like water by the metric ton. But our BARC guys can help you out with that. Someone is asking about Curve, CRV. Okay, so Curve on a daily chart. Wow, this could be a Synthetix leader. 1 through 9, first part of a trend called setup. Then you go 1 through 13. Why can't Curve go to $1? Right? Curve is currently taking out a moving average that it got stoned at back in November. This whole FTX trade is going to get unwound. Okay, the Fuzz Crypto is asking if BARC retraces, what price will it bounce off of? Okay, that's a good question. So I'm thinking that the way BARC is acting, you've got to draw the fib speed resistance lines. So BARC might stop at 17 or 18 cents, or it might break out, go to 17.8 and bottom at 17 cents. So let me just label this. So BARC might go up before BARC goes down to say 0.168. You got to be careful with this because, like I said, This is technical analysis. It's not investment advice. I own the token. It's illiquid. It's small cap. And in altcoins, you can lose everything, including these altcoins. But the chart shows resistance at 7.178. Support may be at 0.168 on a 4-hour chart. Okay, back to crypto, right? Curve, stuff that has been abandoned. Let me see if I can get Synapse up here. Okay, that's not coming up here. Let's see if it comes up on TradingView. Okay. Okay, so here's Synapse on Coinbase. Okay, I think the way to go with just about everything is I think you got to plant fib speed resistance lines wherever you can. I think that's a good structure. Okay, let me draw it again. From that high to that low. So here's your base. The bigger the base, the higher in the space. Looks like 80 cents next level. These things just go from level to level to level. Like, for example, it breaks out here. Like, the subtlety of these candlesticks cannot be lost on you, right? Here's an attempt at a breakout and it comes back down. Then it holds and then it goes. So you almost get bump and run all in the same candlestick on these lines. And it just goes from line to line. And I've seen this all day, right? Optimism. Okay. Grandpa Rock is here. Welcome. Paulie Walnuts. Hi. Press 1 if you like the new Bill Noble on his new channel. Soon to have, I've got my own Instagram, crypto.noble, associated with this. Wait until you see pictures of me on Instagram as they're delivering water and how that drives home what I've been trying to say about BARC and GLDN. Looking forward to seeing how the fudsters react when they see those pictures. Okay, so optimism, right? You draw the fib speed resistance lines and it's just like blowing through it like it's not there, right? I mean, just once it got started, once it broke $1, it was gone. And I know there's a lot of good fundamental story behind this. So people are just like, oh, quality Web3. Hey, I remember that. Buy it, right? There's something new called POMO. Pain of missing out. Not even fear, right? Saying this every single stream, going to continue saying it. Hedge funds who lost money last year, they get a pass. Multiple black swan events. If you're a crypto hedge fund, you probably lost money. This year, it's going up. So if you don't have it for quarterly reporting at the end of March or at the end of January, and you're not long, you're probably losing your mind. You're probably more upset now than you were when it was going lower. It's as simple as that, right? Robert Wiley is here. Welcome. So when you look at these altcoins, I mean, if you take this off, right, and you just get basic, right? Optimism was in a box for a while, basically for the whole Celsius downtrade. So they had a false breakout of the bottom of the box. And now, as you would expect, they're taking out the top of the box. How much upside is left? I don't know. But Optimism has unwound everything that's happened since September. Like everything. Like Optimism is back where it was in August. Now, for laughs, let's just go see where ETH was in August. Where was ETH? Merge high was 2023. And nobody wants to pay 1,400 for ETH. Now, ETH has got resistance. I did some work on my Twitter. I'm not sure if anybody saw this. Okay, I did. Actually, we're doing a video. I did a video on this that we're going to be releasing soon. Okay, here's the hand-kept GAN work in ETH. There's 1475 is a key level. If ETH can't get above 1475, Bitcoin goes parabolic. If ETH gets above 1475, ETH goes parabolic to the next GAN line at 1850. The name of the game, is to draw upside targets that require your imagination. Okay, JCH is here. Arafat is here. Okay, Reverend Flashback is here. Missed the first 30 minutes. I'm doing good. I hope you are doing good too. What did you miss? You haven't missed anything because the God candle really hasn't happened. Up 4% in Bitcoin is not a God candle. Up 15% in Bitcoin, that would be the God candle. Is that going to happen? I don't know. It's actually healthier to do 3 to 4% every day and then to have some sort of gigantic climax at the end. This is ETH, right? You got to be careful when ETH is doing this like slow creeping up only. Just like you got to be careful when ETH is doing this slow creeping down only, like here. Okay, so this is August. This feels like the inverse of August. This was like gradually down only with some downticks and then crash. This is up only with some downticks, reverse crash. Aiken is like, would this phase of the bear market represent the final bottom or are new lows still possible in 2023? Okay, so that's some pretty heavy crystal ball stuff. You know, you don't know what can happen in the fall. You know, there's going to be like an 87-ish October or Rectember thing that's going to probably happen this year based on seasonal analysis. You don't know what that does to crypto. You don't know if that's like a systemic liquidation or if crypto can hold in. Now, can small coins that don't have a value proposition get really hurt? Yeah. You know, some people think 14K in Bitcoin is the ultimate destination. I think the only way you're going to see 14K is if you see 35 first. K, right? In other words, the only way to get Bitcoin lower is to get people sucked in at the top. And since nobody wants to buy anything, and again, I'm talking about Bitcoin, you could be talking about Solana, Polkadot, you name it. I mean, I've even heard that like people are pissed if you talk about XRP. People used to be like, hey, what about XRP? What about XRP? I talked about XRP on my Twitter and lost followers. You realize that if Gensler gets taken out to the woodshed by Congress and there's some sort of positive resolution to this, at the same time, the Chinese are attacking the US dollar payment system or payment tradition for commodities, that XRP and QNT become a private sector counter to a national security threat. Nobody thinks about XRP or QNT in those terms. And I'm wondering if there's going to be a positive alternative payment system narrative at the World Economic Forum conference next week in Davos, where the elites, you know, Soros, Gates, and friends tell us what to do because we can't figure it out for ourselves. I'm wondering if anybody's going to figure out that the answer to some of the challenges in the world are in crypto. And if they could unfud themselves long enough, they might figure that out, but who knows? I would love to see a crypto positive catalyst. I'm probably going to see a whole bunch of FUD, but again, legacy FUD may be positive crypto in January. It won't be in September, but it might be now. Okay, Prime Time says, how do I get gold? Okay, well, in the cryptoverse called PAXG, okay, sorry, I'm blanking here. Why is this not coming up? Okay, here's Pax Gold, right? So gold is up only after doing a head and shoulders bottom with an upside target of 2K minimum. So this is the 24-hour version. There are gold futures. There's GLD in the equity market. Pax is interesting in that it's redeemable for physical gold. Okay, let me just, now if you're looking for physical, I've actually been to the facility. Not investment advice, but they have a vault. They have storage. Texas Precious Metals. Okay. They have like a storage facility and a trading desk. So if you want to keep it there, you keep it there. And if you want to sell it, you can do sales and they just pull it right off your little shelf there. And their trading desk just takes care of it in the event that there's a financial apocalypse and you need to convert gold into dollars to live. I think this is an interesting play. Ronnie is here reminding you to hit the like button. Bubba thinks XRP is the chosen one. Okay. Wrong again is talking about speed, magnitude, and direction. Okay. Let's talk about that. Here is Pax Weekly, right? Pax Weekly. Head and shoulders bottom went straight down all of last year, straight down off the Fed tightening cycle. Does a head and shoulders bottom, so I don't see why it just can't go straight up. What goes down one way turns around and goes up the same way. Okay, ETH Weekly, same thing. Like blow this up, look at it, and think about it. So when you got ETH Weekly, right? What do you have? Okay, so we're popping our head up above 1425, but there's this huge inefficiency or, dump candle that, it started up here at 1500. I'd say, oh, ETH's going to 1550. And people would be like, oh, what? ETH was at 1550 before Sam and Friends got discovered. And what does Sam and Friends getting discovered have to do with the price of ETH? Okay, yeah, collateral gets liquidated eventually. Okay, whatever. It's tied up in bankruptcy court. This FUD has what to do with price? Early in the year, I'm like, people need to get off the FUD and get back to price. Now all of a sudden, people are like, wow, look, this is going up. Yeah. Yeah, because we're coming back to price. We're coming back to the macro value proposition of crypto, right? Steve wants to know, is talking about CELR. Somebody else is asking, what do I think about VIX at 18? Love legacy questions. Okay. One of the things you need to recognize if you're trading any small altcoin, BARC and GLDN included. When it gets resistance, does it fail or can it break out? Right? Like if you have an altcoin and you're like, okay, we all got our altcoins. You're like, all right, is this going to break out? Am I going to get this or am I going to get this? Okay, that's what you want to see. You want to see something breaking out, coming back, retesting resistance, and then going. Like what happens here at 0.012 is going to be key. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so VIX at 18. So when is VIX too low? VIX is too low when VIX closes below the bottom Bollinger Band, which it's doing right now. So frequently when you get VIX crashing to this extent, it can maybe be a warning sign in equities, right? A lot of times, see when VIX gets down here at the Bollinger Band, it can snap back up. I think equities are more of a March phenomenon. I still think crypto has got room to go up during Davos. The most important thing about the Bollinger Band, I think, in VIX is when VIX closes above the Bollinger Band and then comes back in. And in this case, it was like a perfect, that's textbook Bollinger Band retest of the top. And then VIX collapses as stocks rallied. So for anybody who said VIX was, stocks were overextended on the upside, that's a pretty good call because volatility is falling out of bed. Right. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I saw VIX do anything like that. It's probably one of the most alarming things. It's the only thing that gives me pause for being crazy bullish in crypto. But again, you know, legacy has got its issues. Crypto may get caught in that later, but I'm still positive crypto now. Okay. Bart is here. Welcome. Okay. High time frame charts. Yes. High time frame charts. Let's see. I heard the 3-day Bitcoin chart was looking good. Have not pulled it up yet. Okay. So if you look at a 3-day chart of Bitcoin, the old floor near 18.5 became the ceiling, and now it's no longer the ceiling. This is Bitcoin 3-day, right? I don't think I would have seen it that way if I had not pulled up the 3-day chart. Okay. Sean is giving me some love saying crypto and me personally are turning around. Let me see if I can find. Maybe I didn't keep. Oh, I did. Okay. So for the year of the rabbit, Chinese New Year. So one astrologer says, think back to your dreams in 2011. 2011, I actually called the top and the bottom for Goldman. There's nothing like working for an investment bank and calling the absolute bottom. And it was crazy because it bottomed and it went straight up like crypto style. I couldn't believe how much money they made. Honestly, I couldn't believe the call, but I got rewarded for it. And I felt like I was free. And that's how I feel now. Keep an open mind, but not so open that you're not being smart. Good advice. Go swimming, have baths and floats, move to the ocean, and use water in healing rituals. 2023 is the time to become a highly paid specialist. So hit the books and grow. Got the books right over there. Embrace life's wobbles and be brave in imperfection as all the great visionaries are. So this is at Sarah Yip 11 on Instagram. Just found that intriguing. Hey, she's talking about 2011, water, embrace the uncertainty, become an expert. I'm down. I am down. Let's sum it up. This market is not done going up yet because people don't believe it. When people start believing it, sell. 25K in Bitcoin is possible. 35K in Bitcoin is possible. 1,800 ETH is possible. It depends what happens at 1475. You can go level to level, but I'm going to keep believing in crypto because that's the theme for January. I'm your host, Bill Noble. Subscribe, like. We'll see you Monday.